Dear guests, please take your seats. We will soon start the closing session.
I am honored to welcome the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Italian Republic, Honorable Antonio Tajani, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Finland, Honorable Elina Valtonen. Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, today's roundtable has clearly demonstrated the strength of the bilateral business partnership between Italy and Finland, and show that there is a great potential for this partnership to grow further. The Arctic is a strategic space, and therefore a space where trusted partnership matter more than ever. In the field of defense, aerospace, and advanced security technologies, our companies have shown that technological sovereignty is not about isolation, it is about building strong industrial ecosystems. Italy and Finland are complementary players in strengthening Europe's capacity to operate in complex environments such as the Arctic and the Baltic regions. In energy and critical raw materials, the message was equally clear. The green transition will only be sustainable if it is also secure. They highlighted how circularity, advanced metallurgy, subsea engineering, and grid interconnections are not only industrial matters, they are strategic assets. Europe's autonomy in batteries, clean technologies, and defense applications will depend on secure and sustainable value chains, where Finland's mineral resources and Italy's industrial capabilities can be powerfully aligned. In the maritime domain, we saw how the Arctic and Baltic seas are laboratories of innovation, from sustainable shipping solutions to specialized vessels. Finally, in infrastructure and digital transformation, the debate showed that digital sovereignty, trusted connectivity, and data-driven decision-making are the invisible infrastructure of the Arctic future. If I may summarize in one sentence, today's dialogue has shown how strategically close Italy and Finland are. They share more than a vision, as they are already implementing it. I will stop here, honorable ministers, as all of us are looking forward to hearing your remarks. Without further ado, let me invite to the podium the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Italian Republic, Honorable Antonio Tajani. Minister Tajani, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Benvenuti a tutti. Welcome to the companies. First of all, I wish to welcome my good friend, the Foreign Minister Elina Valtonen. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Italy. Elina, thank you so much for your second visit to Rome after our very fruitful meeting last November. The international scenario is very complex. The Iranian attacks in the Gulf, Ukraine. We face the Hormuz situation and instability in the Red Sea. Is key to keep a close the coordination to support our companies. We are very glad to have Finland as our special guest at the Arctic Circle Forum that we will host tomorrow here in Rome, organized with my colleague, the Minister for Research and the University and the Minister for Defense. When we met in November, we agreed to strengthen our economic relation. With this meeting, we keep the promise. Our bilateral trade is growing, but we want to do more with more export and more mutual investments. We are both industrial countries. This is important to work all together on the most important issues, competitiveness, growth in this difficult situation in the world. We need to be, as European, to work hard for helping our countries. That is an industrial country, as Finland, for this cooperation is crucial if we want to do more, if we want to strengthen our economy. Allow me to speak in my mother tongue now for the Italian guests. Grazie a tutti.
Thank you very much for all the companies who have accepted our invitation. We want to strengthen partnership with Finland, which is truly a partner, a strategic partner with which we share a lot with the government. We share a common vision of Europe. Our trade has increased in 2025. Export exceeds 2 billion. We have a potential of growth, particularly in high-tech sectors. And this is why I have included the Arctic and Finland at the core of our strategy for internalization. The export plan and also the which is implemented since June. We want to support our companies. We want to support you in all of the markets, including Finland and the entire Arctic region. The Arctic region is ever more core of our foreign policy for our government. It is a region which is at the top of our priority list. But let's think about history, the important explorer, the important missions which led Italy to look at the Arctic since the previous century, and always as a potential for research. We have to now look into defense as well. But I would say even for the future of global trade, because in the light of climate change, we will have to open new trade routes. And so we will have to consider future trade routes. And as I was saying, the Arctic for the Italian government is always at the core of our foreign policy. And in 2012, when I was vice president of the European Commission, I visited the Greenland. At the time, the fact of raw material was already at the core of our attention. Our government has recently proposed the strategy for the Arctic, the very low level of tension and very high level of cooperation. The Arctic Forum that we are hosting tomorrow is an important acknowledgement for Italy, and Minister Bernini has been one of the sponsors and advocates. Science and research are crucial for our presence in the region, our know-how that we wish to share with our friends from the region. And we as Finland and Italy share concrete, pragmatic vision of growth. And this approach can be translated in partnership in ever more strategic sectors. All of these testify to a very strong complementarity of our mutual economic sectors. And with this roundtable, we want to start a new wave of collaboration. We can do more in the field of defense, of cybersecurity, space. We are already enjoying a great partnership, but we want to do a leap forward because the presence of Finland in NATO and also strengthening the northern flank are open the way to a stronger collaboration. And supported by our companies, we can concretely strengthen the European pillar of the NATO alliance. I spoke about raw materials. Of course, great attention towards this field is at its utmost. And this, of course, we consider what the United States are doing. We are strengthening the role of the European Union in our dialogue with our partners. Our companies can actually are able to extract, to recycle raw materials, critical raw materials. We want to provide the utmost operational support, but this alliance must not be limited only to the Arctic region. So all of the countries, the Western world countries, should, if they want to compete, inevitably have to avoid a monopoly. For example, China at the stock exchange in London is setting the price of raw materials, and we as industrialized companies and countries, we cannot be subject to that. So we have to work together in the Arctic, because the Arctic, I would say, is one of the main landscape. But let's also consider Africa and Latin America. I think the European Union, we as members, is underwriting an agreement for lithium, but we have to have a global approach, because European countries share that, the United States as well, Japan, South Korea. So I believe that certainly we have to try to consider a broad, large world market, which is a free market for liberal democracy, to allow our companies to compete. And in the field of energy, of course, the Arctic has an incredible potential. Our companies can give an incredible contribution. I think about developing smart networks, also storing energy supply in complex situations. Also, the industrial sector is very important. The underwater, so the networks in our companies are ready. The new trade routes are a priority. So the ices in the Arctic are melting. There will be new routes that will open the way, and which allow us to explore different ways which are of fundamental importance. So we have to be in the vanguard. We have to be in the lead. And so we cannot somehow come after the events. We have to anticipate events. So we have to be very proactive. So this future is really based on innovation
and economic security. Our focus is on competitiveness and simplification. The industrial and technological capabilities of our company can strongly support this common political vision. We will do our best to support in the best possible way all economic partnerships between our companies. You can count on us. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks. Thanks, Minister Tajani. I'm now honored to invite to the podium the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Finland, Honorable Elina Valtonen. Mr. Valtonen, you have the floor.
Dear Minister Tajani, dear Antonio, distinguished guests, great to be here in Rome today, and it is indeed an honor and a pleasure to the extent that we agreed to hold this event 3 months ago, and just like between our companies, we hold the promise we make. Thank you so much, Antonio, for being the driving force behind this joint business forum, and I certainly hope this will be just one of many to follow. And Italy, indeed, is one of Finland's most important trade partners. Reciprocal investments between Finland and Italy are in the hundreds of millions and growing. Our commercial and economic ties are closer than ever. And for this, I offer all industry participants present today my sincere thank you. The feedback I receive from Finnish business is overwhelmingly positive, and on our part, I can assure you that the Finnish government is fully committed in our support to Italian companies interested in the Finnish market. There are several reasons for our strong relationship. Firstly, Italy is reliable and like-minded as an economic powerhouse. Secondly, we share meaningful industrial synergies. Thirdly, thanks to strategic investments and historical collaboration, there are excellent partnerships between our companies. And fourthly, I should add, we share a willingness to focus on Europe's competitiveness and keeping our gates open for trade with the entire world. And like Minister Tajani said, free market economy, you don't hear that too often these days, I have to say. And while we can all be pleased with how things currently stand, I am certain that the Finnish-Italian relationship still has much untapped potential, both in relation to economic and strategic goals, as well as in prioritizing European competitiveness and technological leadership. And interestingly, many of these interests converge in the Arctic. As an Arctic nation, Finland is uniquely placed to offer expertise in several domains related to the Arctic: Earth observation, critical infrastructure, strategic communications, maritime industry, defense, logistics, and critical raw materials. Our expertise in cold climate conditions is both unique and natural. Whatever is produced in Finland and tested in our conditions performs reliably anywhere in the world. Dear friends, my vision is of an Arctic region that is both safe and secure. A cool, beautiful, and prosperous Arctic where people can build their lives, where companies and innovation can grow. It is therefore very fitting that we are here in Italy today to work towards making that vision a reality. For Finland and Italy are like-minded in our belief that Arctic cooperation is more important now than ever before. The Italian Arctic strategy puts it well. The region has shifted from an era of Arctic exceptionalism to one of growing competition and interest. Cooperation between like-minded partners, therefore, is a vital aspect of our efforts, and international law and sustainable development must be at the very heart of any of our activities. Dear corporate representatives, I trust that your panel discussions have sparked business ideas and the networking opportunity will provide you with valuable connections for the future. It is excellent to see our top industry actors represented at such a high level. Thank you again for your important work in strengthening the Finnish-Italian bond, and I look forward to hearing of the results of this meeting. Kiitos, grazie, thank you so much.
Thanks, Minister Valtonen. Let me conclude by thanking the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Embassy of Finland, our distinguished speakers, and all the companies represented here. The two ministers have to leave us, but the companies are welcome to the Degrenier Hall on the opposite side of this room for a networking cocktail. Thank you all.